So it's like this, you know, the day is going to go by really fast. You'll get a taste of what you can do, you know. Just make sure that you put you first. You have always been told that putting you first is a very selfish act, and that's how they won. Remember something, if I don't put myself first, I couldn't be here for you today. If I don't put myself first, I'd go, why do I want to spend my Sunday with these people? I don't have any time, any energy. You know, I have to put myself first to a certain degree with things and make sure, because understand something, everyone, and you better get this. Community my butt. Okay? Here. The most important community you'll ever have is 500 trillion bacteria, and 50 trillion cells that are going. You have never been communal with us. And, you know, they love you anyway. You know, when people actually get what they call cancer, which is, you know, stage 1, 2, 3, 4 inflammation, and people say, cancer's not inflammation. Well, I just wish people would do a little bit of research before they just spew all over me. You know? If anybody really realized, they would understand that there was only one person that received the Nobel Prize for cancer, and it was Dr. Otto Warburg, for discovering that when your cells lack 35% oxygen or more for more than 3 days, they will mutate and morph because they don't want to die. They want to survive. Okay? And it's the craziest thing, eh? Do you know that they are now producing meat, right? You know that, right? With cells. Do you know what cells they're using? Immortal cells. Do you know what immortal cells are? Well, they can't use regular cells, so they have to use, you're not going to believe this, and then I'm going to get thrown under the bus. Regular cells don't multiply fast enough, so they're using cancer cells to make the meat, because cancer cells multiply so fast. Anyways, let's get back to it. So we know that stress and toxicity feeds that in a human being. Understand this, you've got to learn to mind your own business. You've got to put yourself first. Remember something, a mother and a father can only give what they are. They can't give what they're not. What if every mother and father had unconditional love? And I'm going to keep coming back to that continually. If you had unconditional love for yourself and you practiced it long enough and strong enough, you would do it on an unconscious level. Whether you want to believe this or not, okay, I can get exhausted or even be out of balance with myself and know that I'm not going to make life-threatening decisions against myself and my family. I mean, I actually believe my own BS. So you need to understand that the brain is the dumbest part of a human being if they have dumb beliefs. The brain is not intelligent. The brain is only intelligent if it has intelligent beliefs. Everybody gives the brain so much credit. It's just a computer, and it's a laboratory. Did you know that every drug that you can buy on the street, your brain makes? And it's a healing way. So understand, your brain is just a chemist and a computer. And being a computer, when you tell the wrong story long enough and strong enough, it overheats and shuts down. And we call that depression. And anxiety is just telling a story that is stressful and traumatizing to yourself too often. That's all. And understand something. When you say this, I've been hurt all my life. I've been hurt more than anybody else. Guess what you're going to get? I'm going to tell you something. We were created in God's image, but we were created to create. What you think and what comes out of your mouth is what you get. Let me tell you something. Everybody that's a multi-millionaire, billionaire is totally intelligent? I don't think so. You know, you can actually be very rich and have tons of money, but you have terrible relationships. You have terrible health. You could have really great health, but not make any money. But that person has poverty consciousness with money, but when it comes to health, they're really invested in it. What if you were invested into unconditional love and care for yourself? And what if you didn't look for a job, but you looked for your passion and purpose and your gift, and you didn't let anybody tell you that you were supposed to become or do something else? Every one of us have gone through that problem. These cycles that were given the keys, and I know you're not going to like this. Oh boy, am I going to get it now. The keys were actually given to the psychos by that which created the universe. There's a war between God and the devil. Well, okay, whatever. I don't really believe it. I believe that, I believe we're all spirit beings, and I believe that we're trying to earn our way. I believe that this is a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure, and we are slaves down here. But we're slaves to their belief systems, and we don't even know we run them for them. So let's make that perfectly clear. Most of you will never know what a perfect day is because you have to buy into the unconditional love and care. And what if your family believes that that's a selfish act? Is it going to happen? Never. It's not going to happen. You would not believe the bravery from some of the people I know that actually live with their spouses, and their spouses just think that they drank the Kool-Aid. And because the spouses are part of the majority, they just totally disrespect and dishonor this person. And then you feel like, well, am I being punished by God? No. The reality is what if you went to a planet that was trying to kill you the second you got here, and you were a thriver on it? Do you think that that's maybe all it was meant to be? If you're waiting for approval from anybody, that it's going to be okay if you love and care for yourself and you think that you're the hottest thing since sliced bread, it's not coming. People don't believe it, but I don't have an ego. And I don't know how, and then people will say, you know what, you better watch your ego. You better kill your ego. Once you kill your ego, your life will be great. You can't kill something you don't have. Anybody I've ever seen that had an ego actually was lacking confidence. I'm not lacking confidence. Go buy from somewhere else. Don't come to my course. Don't come on my platform. But why would you come on and upset yourself? Well, because somebody has to. Because if you're running a hateful program, somebody has to help feed it. Minding your own business is learning how to love and care for yourself. What if you only focused on the things that you wanted in your life? Well, that would be hard for some of you because you've been married to somebody or you're still living with someone and your relationship is not great. But you're either attached to the house, or maybe it's some kind of belief system that if you left, you'll go burn in hell forever. Or maybe you're just too ugly or too old or something. What type of prison have you built for yourself? We all have built one, haven't we? I know people that live in houses that are worth millions of dollars in their prison, and they're prisoners of that. They're a prisoner of the house, prisoner of a relationship. What would people think? I'm not telling you to do anything or be anything, but do you ever really take a look at things? When does your happiness come first? You know, what about this one? I just want to live until the kids finish school. I just want to live until I see my grandchild. Really? Really? That comes out of people's mouths? I just want to live until this is done? I mean, think of the suffering and the pain and the torture that they have. You know, people will say, oh my God, you know, he teaches people to become heartless. No, I teach people to become full of heart and to protect your heart. I mean, you all know that heart disease is the main killer on this planet, and it always will be, because you don't fill up your own heart and you don't protect it. And every time that somebody suffers that you know or you're close to, you bought into that you have to suffer just as much. And if you don't suffer, you're going to be in trouble. What happens if somebody's suffering and then you suffer with them? Does that keep everybody there longer? So let's see if we can just not throw out beliefs, but let's see if we can come first and foremost before anyone else or anything else, so help me God. Because if I don't come first, I'm not going to be able to teach my family that there's a better way. So when I say we try to teach a perfect day, what if you could get to the point that you never have to be on guard because you don't trust yourself? And believe it or not, it's not because you don't trust life. You don't trust yourself because you're not yourself. When people say, I don't trust anyone, it's because they don't trust themselves. Once you trust yourself, you don't need to trust anyone else. That's not even going to be in the topic. Why do I need to trust anybody? I trust in God and myself, and I connect to that. I don't need to trust in anyone here. I don't need to trust in anyone. And guess what? To be honest with you, I don't trust anyone, but I love everyone. That's the deal. And I love you, but can I trust you? Do you eat right, think right? Do you love and care for yourself? Do you make yourself first? How much do you allow yourself to suffer because you're so desperate for someone's love? How much do you eat and drink when you know it's not good for you, but you do it because you need your friends or your family's approval? If you loved and totally trusted yourself, you would say, no, you go ahead. Just do it. But when you don't trust in yourself, and every time that you say you're going to do something and you break trust with yourself, you get a very bad reputation. And believe it or not, the most important thing you never do is break trust with yourself. I do not make myself responsible for Lori's joy. I make myself responsible that I stay in joy if she's not. Because that's the only thing is my vibration that will help her come out of it quicker. If she has something that she wants to talk to me about, she knows she can talk to me about anything. But I'm never going to say, what's wrong with you? I'm going to tell her to focus on what's right with her. We've been taught that we should always go out and try to fix things. Well, I'm not out trying to fix anyone. I'm trying to get you to crack your coconut from the inside out. Because there's nothing to fix. There's just things that no longer serve you. Whether you believe it or not, when you were a child, you created a personality because you had to protect yourself against your parents. Tell me I'm lying. And now you're still using that personality to protect yourself, and it really messes up relationships. Every time I meet someone, I go, I don't trust you. That's not what I say. That's not what I'm doing. I come in with unconditional love, and then I watch and I observe and I go, wow, there's an interesting personality. Because every personality is made from just different beliefs. You know what? Isn't it kind of funny? But everybody, it doesn't matter if there was 12 kids in your family, they all have different personalities. They were all born at different times. The first time your parents had a child, they had different points of view with the second child, third child, fourth child. And how they reacted was part of your personality. The teachers that you went to see were different teachers than your other. Your friends were different than so your perception was different. So your focus is different. So you get a different personality. And guess what? I trade my personality in every day for something new. I have a deal that I'm going to change my personality by 1% every day. So every 100 days, I got a new personality. If you go back and watch my videos 10 years ago, excuse me, I said things, but I didn't stand in the power of God. I didn't stand in the power where I don't care what people think about me. Because I didn't say anything wrong to them. I said, if you want, you can come and listen to my BS, which is unconditional love and care for yourself, and just trying to, everything that you do, whether it's thought or it's something you drink or eat, just ask yourself, is it high vibrational? Will it come in and heal me, or was it going to create a mess? And then ask yourself, because understand something, how do you guys must know this, right? What do you do in your spare time? Well, there's your life. Welcome to your life. My spare time is always spent on self-improvement, self-expansion. But you can't spend a lot of time with family and think you're going to do that. Yes or no? It's not going to happen. But the reality is most people don't want to just spend time with themselves because they don't even like themselves, because they can't trust themselves. See, now we're back to that again. If I could just do one thing and just put a computer program into your brain of unconditional love, it would all be over. If we had people buying into unconditional love for themselves, everything would be over. There'd be enough food, enough water, enough love, enough money. There'd be enough everything. Okay? All right? We'd be able to grab all these psychos, okay? And they would be under our care now. And we would maybe even be able to reprogram them. This is just one big game. And I know you don't want to hear this because your Savior's coming. But God gave them the keys to the abundance, to the control. Your job was to come down here and take your life back anyway, to take your love back anyway, to take your breath back anyway. If you asked everybody their story in this room, everybody's story is different. Because everybody has different thoughts. And understand something. Image creates thought. Thought creates what? Emotion. Emotion creates frequency. And we know that frequencies turn things on and turn things off. And we know that the invisible creates the physical. And we know that the psychological rules the biological. So how's your personality working for you? It's not your personality. So if I take this belief system, and this one, I've got her personality. If I take this belief system, this one over here, and this one over here, and this one here, I've got hers. And if I take this one over here, and this one over here, and this one over here, I've got his. But guess what? That's not his personality. You ask anybody in here, and they would like to have some different beliefs, wouldn't you? I'd like to believe in myself. I'd like to be in the present moment. What if I could live in the present moment? What if I could only focus on the things that I want and just do that? Well, why aren't you? Well, because to do that, you would have to come up against your family, your friends, and society. You'd have to walk away from civilization. You'd have to be a rebel. You'd have to be a radical. You'd have to be a troublemaker. Do you understand? So let's talk about how we can create the perfect day. But first, some people had questions. So let's open up with questions first, okay? So let's go. Questions? None? Randy. And also what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about Cellsonic as well. And Debbie's also going to talk about pets and how you should do the same thing for yourself and your pets. How you should do the same thing for yourself and your children. Which, to a lot of people, that is their pets are their children. And you know why? Because they don't trust human beings anymore. I just want unconditional love. But understand, the person that wants unconditional love and now they want a dog, because a dog can give unconditional love, is still not giving unconditional love to themselves. But maybe the dog will teach the person how to have unconditional love. What do you think? Because another human being isn't going to teach a person how to have unconditional love, because human beings, okay, guess what? Actually, okay, have been programmed not to love themselves. So they're not going to allow another person to have unconditional love because they're counting on everyone else to fill up their heart. So we're sucking on each other, and that's why we're drained. So let's see if we can de-nipple today. Have you de-nippled yet?
We need to.
What?
We need to.
Come sit beside me. Ask your question, because I can't have you whispering.
Okay. So my question is about food. If we're light beings and we're, it's all about frequency and light, then like why eat? I mean, is that just one of the...
One second. Okay, so you can't see that which we call creator, but we can feel it. It's a frequency. I'm not just a frequency. But this physical body is not even 1% of what I am. It might be 1% of 1% of 1%, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to ignore that 1%. So I'm just going to tell you this much. By the time I ate yesterday, it was around 7 o'clock. Now I've done 2 of these. One was Black Diamond structured water. Another one was just green juice that we made. This one is mainly beet and carrot. So I'm going to do this. So I'm not telling you I don't eat. I take in high vibrational things. Understand something. It's vibration that creates everything, not matter. So I hope you get this. But you can eat matter, and there's a frequency in the matter. Because every food, every drink, every supplement that you've ever taken left the body. Not even the vitamin or the mineral stays. It's the energy that's given off of it. It doesn't stay forever. But nutrients will stay and do their job, but they don't stay forever. So understand something. You're not going to be able to run away from the fact. Are you physical? Are you just a spirit being, energy? No. So, I'm going to tell you something. Anybody that I've ever heard that was a breatharian, they cheated eating food in the dark. Okay, so I'm not trying to tell you that's where we're trying to go. I'm trying to tell you that, okay, let's put it this way. Is it obvious that we eat too much?
Yeah.
Okay, we eat when we're bored. We eat when we're tired. We eat when we want to celebrate. And God knows we want to celebrate all the time because we struggle so much. The more you suffer, the more you want to celebrate. And the more you suffer, the more you celebrate with toxic things. The more you struggle, the more when you celebrate, you use poison to kill yourself. Because you're trying to kill yourself because you can't handle the struggle. Did you get that? So the reality is we're not going to get right away from nutrition. Why do we have to do that? What is that? I'm not eating like everybody else because I'm trying to prove that eventually I will just go, that was filling. Okay, so that's not what I'm doing. I am an emotional being, which means I'm a frequency being in a physical body, and I'm not going to discount that. Mm-hmm. But I don't need a lot. Mm-hmm. First of all, look at what you're eating. Most of you, and don't get me wrong, but a lot of you eat 60% garbage, right? And that's a minimum here. There's other people here that are hitting 90%, and I see it. All right? So what you do is you do these little healthy things, but still 90% of your day is toxic. Look at, what do you think of you?
That's more important.
Well, no, but what do you think of you? Seriously. Do you like you? Would you like to like you?
More.
Do you like you?
Pretty much. I mean, I like me more than a lot of people.
You like yourself more than you like a lot of people?
Right. I like being with, if I had to choose to be with me or with
Randy?
I'd probably choose to be by myself.
Oh, sorry, Randy.
I mean, because I'm just...
Okay, but let's make sure that we're choosing to be with ourselves, not because we're trying to hide out from people. Let's make sure that we're being with ourselves because we want to get to know ourselves, because that is the most important relationship that you'll ever have on this planet. We know that the most important relationship is connecting to that which you might call source, or whatever you want to call it, God or Jehovah, whatever. It doesn't matter what you call it, because that which created the whole universe, you could say the Donut King, that does not mind. You see, everybody's made the most powerful energy that could ever exist into having a personality disorder. Right? And you can't have a personality disorder unless you are a low vibrational human being. So don't try to make that which created the universe into that. Seriously, if you were the creator of the universe, and guess what? Even when we say, God damn it, okay, I'm going to put that person in hell. I mean, seriously, no wonder they're saying, God damn it. We're taught to say, God damn it. And then the reality is here, this is a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure. I mean, tell me you don't feel like your life's being threatened by some people, by some things, by corporations. Corporations rule the world now, and that's corpse, right? I mean, all the secrets are laying in the words. But so if you were to say this is just the most fun-filled, life-threatening adventure that you could pick in the whole universe, you know? Yeah. And that's what you did. So you're all really brave. And the reality is just mind your own business. You know, when I get on here, I'm not looking to fight with anyone. I'm not. When I say challenge me if you want, I'm saying do it coming from your heart and intelligence and logic. So the reality is I'm not on here but I'm going to let everybody know that you are no authority over me. There is nobody authority, and you're not going to scare me. I had a guy today from Australia. His name is Kevin. And he said, well, I'm going to let everybody know that, you know, that you're a murderer, right? So I have somebody come to me and they have a life-threatening situation, and because that person spent money with me and they no longer are here. So that is why I have to really ramp things up and make people sign things, you know, because the reality is by the time anybody gets to a natural health practitioner, they've been through the gamut, most people, you know, and I am actually going to be telling all my therapists not to deal with stage 4 inflammation or cancer anymore. Because the reality is it's a setup. It's a setup. Okay? And the problem is they shouldn't have to deal with that or deal with the, how can I say it, the whiplash effect of trying to put their heart out there and help people. And that, because right now, guess what? And we might as well talk about this. I meant to, and then I'm going to make it very short. Guess what, guys? We've got turbo disease now. Turbo disease. Turbo cancer, turbo diabetes. We've got turbo everything. It has been ramped up. How many people here know that cancer has increased by 500% only in the last 2 years? 500%. And the reality is that's every other illness as well. And the reality is this, blue light, 5G, and guess what? We're coming for your kids, okay? All right, the bees are dying. Okay, blah, 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 blah. So guess what? If you're not going to mind your own business, you know, I like to know what's going on. You know, like, how many people have friends that can't stop talking about chemtrails? How many people have friends that can't stop talking about 5G? How many people have friends who can't stop talking about the bee? You got to walk away from them. So now, let me just say this. How much of an effect have we had on stopping blue light, which is You know, when they made this ring, when they made the phones, when they made the TV, okay, when now incandescent lighting is illegal to sell supposedly in the United States. Just blue light, which is LED, which radiates your blood. Thank you very much. This radiates the blood. But but if I put all these lights on in here, whoa, we're really getting radiated. And I can handle it because I take all my nutraceuticals. So that doesn't even touch me. It won't touch me. I'm a high vibrational being. And I'm going to stay that way. Everything is frequency. So understand this. To the majority of the population that want to fit in, they're going to get done in. Blue light is more toxic than 5G. Like, everybody needs to own a pair of Teslas. Now, do they cost as much as designer glasses? Yes, and they should. They're fluorine lenses, and guess what? They're right on our website, and you should have them. You should be wearing them everywhere. The room's great, it's dark, but you should wear them outside for glasses. You should wear them when you watch TV. You should wear them when you're on your phone. You should wear them in every office. It's all blue light. It's all radiating your blood. Someday this will change. Not right now. What happens when you give somebody too much power? What happens if they have the love of power and not the power of love?
What we're experiencing.
So everything is going to be turbo disease now. Dis-ease, because you're not at ease, because you're not in balance, and you're not minding your own business. You know, you think you're doing well by everyone by going around and scaring the shit out of people and telling them about what's wrong in the world all the time. And that's most of you. You'll never have me do that. I'll come on here and do an informative conversation. Because people don't realize that, guess what, how many people here and don't even, no, I'm not going to ask because people pretend. So the reality is this, hardly anybody will shut their Wi-Fi off at night. And put a timer on it. You know, think about how programmed you are to leave that on. Think about how it is to allow your kids to sleep with their phone under their pillow on. To let any child, okay, before the age of 14 years old to have a cell phone. You can't even hardly see a 2-year-old in a crib or in a stroller without an iPad or an iPhone.
It's the way they entertain them.
No, hold on. You can program a human to program humans. So let's make this really clear. Every one of you here, can you mind your own business? Can you put a smile on your face? The next 10 years, if you're not minding your own business and finding your joy, finding your bliss, finding what you call your creator, because everybody's going to see the creator differently. You could listen to me. I'll tell you something right now, okay? My father was a born-again Christian pastor, and I can tell you right now that everybody had a whole different belief what a born-again Christian was. Everybody had their own belief within the church. So everybody has their own thing. But you better make up your own. You know what? Image creates thought. You can't have a thought without an image. So where should you be focused if you're going to make images? You want to focus on the turd on the ground? Or do you want to look up to the sky and know that the sky is not the limit, but your beliefs are? Do you understand? So, you know, oh my God, you should have saw it today, man. It was just, crazy out there. You wouldn't, Hey, you know what? I was walking on my way to work and I saw the most beautiful butterfly. What did you just do? Do you know what? Why can't you be kind? Why can't you be kind and don't spew anymore? What about this? Did you know what would happen if everybody bought into my BS, unconditional love and unconditional care? There'd be no matrix. We have the numbers.
Yeah.
We have the numbers. You do know that 8 billion people could move into Texas right now and live there and be fed. Are we done yet? You do know that no water has ever left the planet, okay? The water I drank yesterday, she urinated probably 10 days ago. It's all recycled. Do you understand that? The carbon they want to get rid of is us. We can have 8 times the population just for the trees we have. And guess what? It's not even the trees that do most of the work. What about all the other plants in the ocean? You know what? It is so easy to program a human being into a human doing. And you know what? I don't expect people to like me. You know why? Because it's like this. People actually get pissed off, because they don't want to hear about how much they've caused people to suffer and how much they've suffered for so long. And then I come along and go, it's BS. And understand something, you wouldn't need me. You wouldn't need me. You're your own energy medicine device. If you wore a slight smile, why do you buy into all the suffering of your family? Why do you buy into the suffering of the world? Because you do. Your body is so in pain right now. You've got so much pain in your body. Why do you do that? Why can't you just mind your own business? You're going to have to find new friends, because the ones you have are called frenemies. Okay? You can't have a friend that's attacking themselves and have like an alcohol problem, a smoking problem, a drug problem. And if you do, you just hold the line. You lovingly hold the line.
Next.
Did we answer anything?
I think so.
You're not sure?
Randy, your
Randy.
question.
Randy, go.
What's your suggestion on helping a young child that has enlarged tonsils and had their appendix taken out?
Okay, well, let's put it this way. First of all, I don't want anybody being upset with me. Please don't get upset with me. We've all been fooled. When somebody loses their appendix, I won't tell you it's 100% of the time, but I just want to tell you that I'm not trying to pretend anything that I'm not, but I hope you know that when I was 27 years old, I opened up the North American Institute for the Advancement of Colon Therapy. My manual at 32 years old was used by the United States Senate group for the study of colon cancer. Okay? So I'm not telling you that I'm a genius. I'm not telling you anything. I'm trying to tell you I know what I'm talking about in my little realm. Okay? And that's this. The appendix blows up because of a piece of meat or a piece of cheese. A little piece of cheese does not get digested properly, and nobody should be eating cheese. Okay? Cheese is a poison. And how many dead animals does it take for somebody to get well when they're sick? And how many children are rushed at the table when they eat meat? And how many people actually chew meat till it's a liquid? And then the other thing is, if the child has blood type A, she can't digest animal protein very well. You have to have O type. And then even O type people are going to run into trouble later because of trapped protein particles. But the reality is this. You've got the appendix, which is the little tail. The appendix creates lymphocytes, okay, white blood cells, and good bacteria. And it's an infection fighter. And the doctors will tell you it has no purpose. Well, they have no purpose sometimes. The reality is that little tail was creating infection fighting and good bacteria for the large intestine. So now when that child has its appendix gone, it's got part of the immunity for the large intestine gone. So the reality is how many people know this? If a child had a sore throat or swollen tonsils and you gave them a warm water enema with black diamond in it, the tonsil swelling would be gone down in half an hour. How many people know that when the large intestine's in trouble, the tonsils swell? I hope you're ready for this. It's really deep. If we make the tonsils swell, it'll be hard to swallow. If there's trouble in the bowel, it's because it's called constipation. Not that the child doesn't go to the bathroom, but because there's stagnation, which is putrefaction, and there's rotting. So if the child's bowel is rotting out, the tonsils will swell as a reflex. So now the child won't be eating and putting food on top of already a blocked bowel. And I'm right. And I am right. Now here's the other thing. The same thing with breast problems. There's always ovarian or uteral problems within the pelvis before there's ever breast problems. The same thing. It's like, you know what? When there's trouble in the bowel, it's like you go to the fair, you go with that hammer, and the bang is here, but the ding is here to the throat. With the breasts, it's the ovaries and the uterus are in trouble, and then the breasts, become tender. You get me? Clean out the pelvis and tell me that your breasts are tender. I've only done it 10,000 times or more with women. You know, you can call me anything you want, but guess what? When you've done something thousands of times and get the same result, there could be something behind that. So now, here's the deal. Nobody should be eating dairy. Do I do butter sometimes? Yeah, butter doesn't hurt anyone. If it's organic butter or if it's ghee or, but it's not going to hurt anyone. But you start doing cheese and you start doing milk, or even Greek yogurt. But I don't do just yogurt. I do Greek yogurt. Yeah, it's no different than anything else. It's dead cow's bacteria, pasteurized. Dairy, come on, guys. The only reason why you crave it is you're addicted to it because it's the it's the casein that becomes the drug to the brain. That's all. And understand something. Let's be realistic. If we wanted to drink milk after we're weaned, which we're the only species on the planet that do it, but if you really wanted to do it, why don't you go milk a monkey? The only reason why we milk a cow is because the udders are big, but meanwhile cows have four stomachs because that's what it takes. And you have one, and you can't stomach milk. You can't stomach cheese, you can't stomach yogurt. But O-types can do it better, but they're still going to be in trouble. Where an A-type, I would feel a headache or I would feel acid right away. An O-type, guess what? They just get to have it accumulate and grow something in them. Abnormal. And most people are still O-types. So being an A-type, I get to feel symptoms. Like Lori's an O-type. She can bloody well eat anything, but it doesn't mean it's good for her. Okay, I eat something that's, I'm like the canary in the coal mine.
What blood type are you?
I'm A. I'm A negative.
And I'm O, and I'll testify to all the cheese things that you said because I did a little test on that diet one time, and she'll verify. I have a little growth right here, and now that just puts a thing on the picture because I don't consume dairy anymore. But
No, let me tell you something. Who really gives a shit about you guys? Eat and die, will you? So the reality is I you know what? People go, he's hard to listen to. Really? Well, why don't you just go to somebody that can stroke you? You're on the wrong platform. Because there is 1 out of 10,000 people that listen to me that go, holy shit, I'm not putting up with this anymore. I'm going to love and care for myself. I'm cleaning the cupboards out and the fridge. And I'm going to get the love. I'm going to get the love and the life that I was promised. Okay? And understand something. I get it. There's no bad people. There's just people that are addicted. You're all addicted. Okay, I'm addicted to eating right. I'm addicted to feeling great. I'm addicted to having tons of energy and show people that I can finish this tour. I've got 8 more months. You know? I'll be finishing in the UK this tour. No, Mexico. I finished Mexico. And then Sage and the rest of the team will be finishing in India. Because we're going to do to India. We're going to go to India and we're actually going to, that'll be our last course. I won't be doing that one, but there'll be a Braveheart course. There'll be a non-surgical course and there'll be a pelvic course. And that one we're going to do and actually we're going to charge the same amount in their money. So we're not going to make any money. We'll probably lose money on that one. But the reality is I want to do India. I want to make sure that we do a course there. So what was I going to say? So here's the battle you're going to have. You're on your own. You're crazy. You're a health nut. You're a quack. You're dangerous. It's not easy, guys. But if you mind your own business and just know that love people anyway, and don't expect people to change for you. You know, you decide. Would you like to be disease-free, cold, flu-free? I don't get colds and flus. I get sniffles sometimes. I know exactly what to do. I just up my nutraceuticals. I'll take 3 Thunder Shroom critical care right away, and that's it. It's over. So I know what to do. And guess what? Follow me for the next year and see the energy I put out. You won't even be able to keep up with the videos I do. You won't be able to keep up with the master classes we're writing, or even the stuff I write, the things I do. I'm trying to prove a point here. And I don't go home with a headache and go, oh, God, it's really hard trying to fake it, honey. I'm doing this. Anybody who knows you or knows me is, do I fake it?
No. No, he's nonstop from, I can attest.
I love life. I love creating. We were created to create. Why don't you honor that which created you and create a miracle every day? Why don't you just do it? Why don't you just show that you can stand in your own heart and fill it up, and you don't need to go to the gas pump of your family. Next. Did I answer your question, Randy, or did you want something else out of that?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Yep.
I started wearing glasses a few years ago, and I don't like them.
You started wearing glasses a few
Yes,
years ago, and you don't like them.
Contacts. So I noticed on one of your videos you were talking about how you used to wear.
Why don't you come and sit with me? If you want, I'll move the camera so nobody can see you.
No, I don't mind.
Okay. That's just that then they can hear you, right?
Right.
You know, us sharing with, there are a few people on here that are glad we're here. There'll be a whole bunch of people on here that will not be glad I'm here. But guess what? It's as easy as just end. Just push it. Okay. What?
So I watched the video on where he talked about where he used to wear glasses, or just didn't wear glasses, and he wore readers, then he wore these, now he didn't have any. So I'm like, well, that's what I want to do. So I started putting the Bright Eye, the nanofolic drops in my eyes morning and night. But it made my eyelids puffy and my eyes were bloodshot. People were like, "Are you okay?" Like they probably thought I was on drugs or something.
Yeah, but it hardly ever does that. And when it does that, that shows that the person needs to do more bowel work and liver and kidney work. Okay.
Because I had a little bit of crustiness too in the morning. So.
Yeah, but the crustiness is the mucus. Does everybody understand that your body creates excess mucus because it's trying to coat and protect the cells? Because there's too much infection that create inflammation. And inflammation will cause destruction of the cells if it gets out of hand. So it creates mucus to try to protect it against the infection.
Okay.
So we've got liver and bowel things. So if I could get you to do the Ultimate Coffee Enema for 10 days to 20 days, twice a day, morning and night, and if I could get you to do vaginal infusion and you were doing the daily cleansing tea and the black gold, her eyes wouldn't be doing any of this. Because guess what? If I want to drain the tub, should I get a cup and start, just getting the water out this way? Or should I just go and pull the plug in the bottom? Well, the plug would be your bowel. Understand your bowel is, the large intestine is the holy grail of your immune system. 85% of your immune system is in your large intestine. Your bacteria are the most intelligent thing of a human being. Not the brain, not the cells, but your bacteria. And your bacteria actually send information 9 times to your brain, where your brain only sends information back 1 out of 9 times. All the information comes from your bacteria. The most important, when your bacteria are mainly bad bacteria, you have bad dreams, bad thoughts. You have a bad mood. So understand that. Okay, there's not bad people, but there's bad bacteria that were created through a bad diet and bad belief systems. And you have to become the master of those bacteria.
Well, I've done no dairy, no wheat, no
But things,
products.
well, I know, but once you stop that, things have gotten better. But
Yes.
feel my hands, feel my hands.
Yeah,
Now feel your hand. Take your other hand and feel it.
yeah, it's a little cool.
It's cold. Now, when you have cold hands, what do you have? You are running a terror program 24/7. So what are you fearful of? When the hands are sweaty, when you go to touch somebody's hands, feel like they peed on you, that is fear of loss. That's a kidney problem. Okay? And that person also isn't drinking enough water. And what they're doing is the adrenals sit on the kidneys, and they're triggering their kidneys because of fear of loss. What did they lose, and what do they think they're going to lose? Whereas with the gallbladder, okay, and the gallstones, that's because there's too much anger going into the liver. Now, so remember, the emotional controls the physical, and then the diet comes along with it, because there's a lot of people that have really bad diets that don't have gallstones. There's people that have really terrible diets that don't have heart disease. So understand that the invisible is the most important thing.
So I should just keep putting the drops in and...
Well, put the drops in to the point that you don't feel like your eyes are inflamed. Because what the drops do, we make the only fulvic drops in the world you can put in your eyes. Nobody else can do that. Because their fulvic would actually scratch your eyes. Ours are so nano. There's nothing like it. So when you put those drops in, those drops drop off 70 micronutrients to your eyes. Do you think that'll help? Mm-hmm. Okay. Those drops will suck up any heavy metals, any inflammation, acidity, chemicals, any bacteria or any fungal will be sucked up by those drops. Okay? So how much is in there? So we know that for some reason, there's a lot going on your eyes, right? So what can you not see clearly in your life? What's blocking you from seeing clearly on an emotional level? What is it?
Getting to I'm finding my passion here. I've been seeing it for a couple of years, and just getting to the point where I can see it.
Why can you not see your future clearly?
I haven't found my way yet.
Are you compromising your progress for someone or something?
I probably am. I'm spending a lot of time with my youngest granddaughter until she gets in kindergarten.
Okay, well, she could be helping you too.
She is. She is.
Yes.
Definitely. I got another year, maybe another year until she gets in kindergarten.
So why don't you do the things that you need to do while you're with her and teach her?
I am, and she does smoothies with me. She's already learned all, by the time she was 2, she
What
knows all
about
the
clapping,
fruits and
skin
vegetables.
brushing, belly button therapy,
Belly button
squats?
therapy, she's been doing that with me.
You're a wonderful grandmother.
I mean, she loves it.
Yes.
She loves it because she sees I love it.
So what's your chokehold?
I don't know.
Okay, then I want you to really sit with it. Okay, so when you go to bed tonight, just know that which created the universe wants to give it to you. Are you ready to hear it? And the reality is, the next time that you have to get up to pee around 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, go find a really quiet, peaceful place and sit up and just connect to your lion heart breathing and close your eyes and just focus on your Lionheart breathing with a slight smile. And I want you to come and tell me the answer, because you're going to have it.
Okay.
You're going to have it. You're going to have it. If we can keep you distracted, if we can keep you in chaos, you'll never be able to hear the whisper.
Well, luckily I never have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, but I do find I need my quiet time. I need, anytime I wake up early, say 5 o'clock, that's my quiet time.
Okay, then just open yourself up. Open yourself. Have you ever said, I'm open to hear the answer?
Yes.
Have you done that?
Yes.
And what comes? Nothing?
It's in the moment, so it's not always what I'm going to do tomorrow. It's like go through the day, like you say, peaceful and joy and smiling and taking care of myself. I'm in that process right now.
Just make sure that you're not looking for an answer. You're looking for a better answer than what you could come up with. Because understand something, we all make plans, but make plans to change them. Because if you're open, you're going to get an answer that's going to be better than the one you got. It'll be universal.
Right, I believe that.
Okay, and it will be. You know what? That's how I do everything. I mean, if you don't believe me, you ask Lori. I wrote the whole Healthy to 100 at 2, 3, and 4 o'clock in the morning. And there'd be notes all over the place. Sticky notes in the bathroom, sticky notes on the fridge. And at nighttime, I'd wake up and I'd go, okay, and I'd write it. And sometimes we'd get up and go, what is that? I don't know what some of it was, but we wrote the whole book that way. Didn't we, hon?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we wrote the whole book by sticky notes, getting up in the middle of the night. Right? Open yourself up to amazing.
I'm in the process. I'm doing it.
Okay.
It's going to happen.
So I have some amazing news. Hi, everyone.
This is Debbie from Stewart, and we'll be showing her Cellsonic today and using it on people. So if you've got questions, we need to do them, because then we're gonna show the Cellsonic. I'm gonna show some non-surgical, and then whatever time we have left after that, we'll play with our belly buttons, and we'll show the clapping, and we'll show pelvic squats, and we'll show some tricks.
So you remember Debbie? She did the interview at my house, the one with lung cancer.
Yeah. Now this is an older lady that you could see that emotionally and physically she was abused most of her life. I mean it. And I don't think she'd mind me saying it, because it's the truth. And people don't realize that they don't have to have that anymore.
So she got diagnosed with lung cancer back in like 2016, 17. She did the traditional route one time, went through chemo, radiation, and it came back. So she woke up and she started following Dr. Wolf here, and she took massive personal action, and then she had a scan, and we worked with her. She got the Cellsonic, and so I just got a text right now at what does it say right there? 1:27 p.m. Hi, I just wanted to let you know I had my 6-month checkup and my CT came out cancer-free. So when you get a text like this, and she'll be back. She also had her port.
And I want to say this in the most loving way. Malnourished, hasn't been loved like she wants to for her life, but she has a spark. She has this little girl in her, and guess what? The Cellsonic, it woke her up. The non-surgical helped to pull up the fibrous scar tissue apart that they call tumors or fibroids. That's all. Remember something. Nothing can heal you if you don't deserve it.
And she's done great. I mean, she just took massive personal action. She does the perfect day. She does everything. And she gets great results.
When you jump into this thing like a little girl or a little boy, and you go in with the playful attitude, not like everything else in life. Like, I'm going to tell you something. My son Sage, okay, and he teaches all over the world. He teaches medical doctors, chiropractors, lay people, and he's still, you know, he's only 26 years old, but he's been a Wolf non-surgical therapist, and he's been with me his whole life. And he was certified as a Wolf non-surgical therapist when he was 11 years old. So you can say, well, he shouldn't, blah, blah. Well, does he know how to carry his own?
Yes, he does.
Emotionally too?
Yes.
And deal with people that are 3 times his age?
Oh, yes.
So understand, never ever go and compare yourself to the majority. You know, when a doctor says to you, well, you know, you got 6 weeks left, a person your age in this condition, say, yeah, but guess what? What if I totally changed my personality and unconditionally love myself, and I actually cleaned out the cupboards, and I made plans for the next 10 years, and I didn't want to go anywhere, and I just loved myself well. Let me tell you something. We see it all the time. And understand, it's not about our products. It's not about our equipment. Okay, these are just things that already boost somebody that says, I've already got a rocket launcher called me and the invisible are going to come together. And that's it. And we're going to change this thing. The doctor's not lying to you when he tells you got 6 weeks to live. That's if you want to be a statistic. Are you like the majority? If you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. So it's really funny, though, how people, you know, it's like this, okay? Think about it. When you see somebody that has a really serious situation, everybody in the family gets fearful. Whether we want to believe this or not, most families actually push the person that's sick over the cliff because fear is the disease. So, and it's nobody's fault, but we've all been programmed to push our loved ones over the cliff when we don't know how to help them. Well, if you don't have the answers, you get fearful, right? No, this lady was amazing. It's like, was she a smoker?
She was. Yes, she did.
Because, man, you know, you could tell, you know, that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She stopped.
Underweight, really looked malnourished. But guess what? I'm living. There's no stopping that. Then you can get somebody that looks great, that looks like there's nothing wrong with them, and it's goodbye, baby, when you don't love yourself. When you hate yourself, you're going down. When you hate your life, you're going down. When you hate chemtrails, you're going down. When you hate broccoli, you're going down. Why aren't you focusing on what you love? Oh, I hate broccoli. Well, who really cares? Why'd you even bring it up? Because you have to feed the belief that life is hateful. Think about it. Watch what comes out of your mouth. Watch what you think about, and ask yourself, what type of image are you creating? And what does that image create in the way of emotion? And what does that emotion create in the way of frequency? And what does that frequency trigger in your mind? What kind of chemicals? Histamine, adrenaline, and cortisol, which to kill you. Because remember something, we are only supposed to be stressed intensely for no more than 3 minutes, or it will actually damage our bodies. 3 minutes. Have you stayed angry longer than that? Have you been depressed longer than that? Remember something, you're not in charge of your emotions. There should be the most craziest drama, trauma, crisis go on, and you're going to put your hand on your heart, put a slight smile on your face, but you're going to have to leave the room, because if anybody sees you slight smiling when there's a trauma going on, they'll slap your face.
So how do I get rid of grief?
How do you get rid of grief? Well, first of all, it's a program. Now, please don't take this wrong. When somebody asks a question, I'm going to play with them, right? How were you raised? What's your religion?
Religion? I wasn't raised in a religion.
Okay, so what's the grief?
My mother passed away.
When?
Recently, about 3 months ago.
How close were you?
Extremely close.
No, she relied on her for everything. You can't rely on someone and they be your foundation for everything. And I've taught my children this. Okay? Your mother was wonderful, but she did not force you to do what you needed to do if you could do it. She did not give you your independence, so now you're going to have to go for it.
It's actually the opposite.
It's not. It's not. It's not. You fed off each other. So, your mother probably took up about 80% of your heart. So that means that now we've got an 80% chance of heart disease. We've got an 80% chance of depression. Right?
100%.
Okay. So when I talk, I'm not trying to be a smart ass here. You need to get this. Okay? The relationship needs to be empowering. When we believe that we're not worthy to be loved, we need others to love us. Yes or no? Have you done the mirror work?
I just learned about you last night.
So I'm just going to tell you that you need to talk to Kimberly. That's Kimberly.
She's the hostess with the mostest.
Now, you talk to Kimberly and understand if you were to actually really get into the love band, and you know what? That's the old me. I got this. I'll fill up my own heart with love and I'll shine that on the world. You know what? You go into the Perfect Day Guide. If you get a Perfect Day consultation from one of our staff, it's $150. You get lifetime support. You do know that, right?
Did not know that, no.
No, nobody else does it. Well, I get bashed for everything. There goes the money grubber. Money grubber, $150, lifetime support. You're going to get a 400-page PDF manual that will show you more tricks and more things to do and how to create your perfect day on emotional and physical and spirit level. I'm serious. Am I right?
Yes.
You've never read a book like this. This is my whole life poured into this thing. This book should be $2,000. It should be if you were to compare it. You'll see when you read it. But you get, if you pay $150, you'll get an hour consult. They'll send you the audio. And then if you call us 5 times a day, it doesn't matter. And if you can't get your consultant that consulted you, you've got my phone number. Do I call everybody back? Who's called me here? Have I called you back?
Yeah.
Yep.
I call everybody back. So if my consultants are busy, you can call me. I'll answer your question. And when you call me, I'd like it if you had a recorder, because I get a lot of calls and I'm going to give you everything that I believe that I can give you. So if you could record it, that'd be great. So once you pay that $150, you can call us as much as you want for the rest of your life and you won't need us, because we're going to prove to you that, because we're going to give you back your sovereignty. Your sovereignty is loving and caring for yourself and respecting yourself. And when you start doing that, other people, you will not have people go and dishonor and disrespect you. I mean, I get it all the time, but look at where I am. You know, people can just come on here, and if they're having a bad day, they're going to take it out on me. And that's okay. It has to be okay. And you're going to allow people to be whatever they are. Can you change a person's personality? You couldn't change your mother. You can change yours, though, if you want to really take massive personal action. And if you really believe that your joy and your passion and your purpose, and if you really want your gift to get out to the world, and you want to know what else? You do know that maybe 1 out of 1,000 people actually leave this life here feeling like they actually accomplished their mission. You do know that, and that's the truth. You do know that the majority of the population, the last 15, 20 years, you know, they don't want to die, but they don't want to live. You'll never hear that from my mouth. You'll never hear that I'm sick. I'd have to have a sick thought first. But most people think I'm sick. Why? Because my thoughts don't match theirs. I'm just a selfish prick who unconditionally loves himself and is out to get everybody's money. I'll get that after this lecture, though. Understand something. You don't have to buy anything from me. Just buy into yourself. Go into my library and never talk to me again. Never spend any more money on me. Never do a thing. But go into my library and tell me I didn't give you more than anybody's ever given you. I spent 15 years on that library, just creating master classes. Go into Braveheart online emotional intelligence class. That's a 33-day program. Do that 3 times and tell me that you're not rocking your world. Go ahead and go watch Reverse the Irreversible, and you'll find out none of you need to be stiff, swollen, in pain, or inflamed. Go into the emotional chemistry of cancer, disease, and healing, and see the biggest study that was ever done on cancer and the only truth about cancer that I've ever seen. Go in and watch How to Become Number 1 at the Art of Number 2, and you'll find out why you have so much weight. But none of this is going to change unless you go, today I will love, honor, respect, protect myself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help me God. Let me see you go into a mirror tonight and do the Braveheart Oath. And let me see you do it 10 times at night before bed and 10 times in the morning. Let me see every time you go to the bathroom today that you look in the mirror and go, I love you, beautiful. I am going to protect you, respect you, and honor you before anyone else or anything else. So help me God. And you mean it.
You have to look in the mirror.
And I guarantee you, you can't even look in your eyes. And if we were to tape it, you'd be going really fast, or you wouldn't even be able to look, or you'd start crying. People don't love themselves. They can't even look in their own eyes. We can't even look in the eyes of our loved ones. And that's why you need to do the couples connection. Who are you close to right now?
My son.
So guess what? Do the couples connection with him. Go look it up. That's where you'll spread your legs. He'll come close in the middle. He'll put his legs over you. You'll put your arms around him. He'll put his arms around you. You'll look in each other's eyes for 10 minutes. And you'll connect to each other's breath. And you'll breathe in and breathe out. And you do that for 10 minutes. And I guarantee you, you'll be having tears in your eyes. And you will see how beautiful his spirit is. And then he'll see how much of a beautiful mother he has. And instead of listening to the world, and that we should all be at war with each other. You can't do any couple in here that does the couples connection every night for 10 minutes for 33 days. It'll be the first time you ever truly fell in love with yourself and each other. And people can say BS. Well, let me see you do it and then tell me that.
He's too far away.
Then do it with yourself. You get a mirror, you hold on a thin mirror from Walmart, $20. You hold on to either side, you sit on the floor on a bolster like this. And then you learn the Braveheart Oath off by heart. And then let's see you do the Braveheart Oath. Those of you that are in the Whole Life Coach course, we're going to be doing it, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
And then you're going to find out. We've got the ones, oh, I'm up, I'll do it. How's that work, Kathy?
They all, I'll do it. And
I have copies if anybody, I make copies. So I'll give it to everybody, whoever wants one.
I would love to have everybody have a copy, and I'll pay you for whatever the photocopying was. Okay? Because you really should have it. Let me tell you something. You guys are worth everything.
Yes.
See, honestly, just close your eyes for a second and just take a breath. Close your eyes, take a breath. Okay. Now, I want you to picture, just keep your eyes closed, how much of the love in your heart is based on the love from you. Now, hold on to that. Now, I want you to go through, how much love do you have for your family, your spouse, your friends, your dog? Listen, we're supposed to shine our love, not use other people to fill up our heart. That's why my heart is empty. My heart is broken. My heart is aching. That's why there's so many, my achy, breaky heart. Everybody can relate to that. If all the love you had was from you, self-served, and your heart was full of love, you would never be sick. And you can go, and remember something, just so you know this. What kind of money does Daryl get for that? So just don't let your mind play games with you. What does anybody get? What does the world get for that? What do all the practitioners and all the therapists and all the supplement people and all the drug people, what do they get? If you serve the one main cure, self-love is the cure. Love is just an ingredient. It's what you do with it. Shall we change the topic?
Do the perfect day. Or do you want to do the perfect day?
Well, we'll have to reset things up to do the Cellsonic. Like we'd have to move things over. So let's talk about the perfect day. We'll take about, let me see what time it is. We'll take about 20, 25 minutes, and then we'll cut off, take a little break. Then we'll come back, we'll do the Cellsonic, and then we'll do whatever's left over, and it's already 2:00.
Wow.
You see? You see? Huh? Yeah, and it's supposed to end at 2. All right, so let's keep going.
Perfect day.
All right, so I'm going to just scoot through the perfect day quicker because, like I told you, and do whatever you want. I mean, the best way to get a perfect day is to actually get a perfect day consult. It is,
Yes.
right? But the reality is, when you do a perfect day, I'm just going to go over things with you. Like, before you even open your eyes, as soon as you wake up, what's the first thing you do? You connect to your lion heart breathing. That means that you're definitely going to be breathing in your nose and out your nose, because your nose is for breathing, your mouth is for eating. Now, but before you even start your breath, what are you going to do?
Put a smile on.
You're going to put a slight smile on and you're going to hold it there. Let me tell you something. I have no problem having a slight smile no matter what's going on in the world. Guess what? If you don't want to wear protection, then guess what? You've been warned. If you everybody close your eyes, wear a slight smile. Don't even worry about your breath. I don't care what your breath is doing. Wear a slight smile. Do not take the slight smile off. Slight smile. Now think about the worst thing that ever happened in your life, but keep the slight smile. Worst thing that ever happened in your life, but keep the slight smile. Worst thing that ever happened in your life, but keep the slight smile. It's not the worst thing, it's nothing. It is your God-given protection. A slight smile will actually diffuse the trauma, drama, and it will not reactivate the disease, especially cancer. And understand, when you get cancer the second time, third time, fourth time, you've reactivated the trauma, drama that caused it in the first place. That's why I want you to go to my library and go and watch they're all master classes. You don't even have to read. You can lay back and connect to your breath, put a slight smile on, watch all my master classes. See, your mother passing was one of the worst things that could ever happen. And when you're wearing a slight smile, you can't get grieving for her. And understand something. Now you ready? You ready to not like me? You get off on suffering. You get off on grieving. Because that's how you're going to work your way to heaven. Because your self-worth is so low. Are we done yet? Tell me I'm wrong. And guess what? There's nothing wrong with her. She did everything right. But now she's not going to do anything right. She's going to do everything for happy and healthy. Because guess what? You're going to be wrong if you start loving and caring for yourself. Majority rules, yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. You need to get that. So do you need the approval of everyone to get let off the hook for grieving? No, you actually believe that if somebody passes, if you don't grieve for a year or more, you're a bad person. And it's always been talked about, and especially with women. And guess what? I will never grieve. Do I miss people? Do I love people? Do I care for them? Ask my kids what kind of father I am. I mind my own business, and if they need me, I'm there. So understand that. But guess what? You were sucker punched by the psychos, and so was everybody else. The more you suffer, the more you show you loved your mother. And that's your program. So get ready to destroy yourself and end up with a life-threatening disease, and then you'll be fighting your way back, and guess what? You'll spend all your money on getting nutraceuticals from me, or you can just love and care for yourself, and we can maybe do a little bit of that and a little bit of this, but you better be doing 99.9% loving and caring for yourself, or we'll take all your money. Do you understand? How do you feel now?
Almost human.
See, just saying that. Just know that you are on a self-destruct, ready to kill yourself.
I'm aware of that.
Oh, really? You better be.
That's why I'm here today.
I mean, I can feel the energy. Well, it's really great to have you here. And you are a beautiful human being, and I'm not just saying it. I don't just say things, do I? No. You are. And the problem is that you're too sensitive. You get hurt way too easy.
And not all the time.
You get hurt way too easy, okay? And that's because you're not worth anything. You can't hurt me. And even if you try, I'm not going to hurt you. Love them anyway. Don't love people because they match your beliefs. Love them because they all got created by the same creator. I don't care how many bullshit stories are down here. This religion thinks they're going to heaven. This one thinks this one's not going. This one thinks this one's not going. I mean, it's anything to tear us apart, yes or no? It's all been that way. It's all been that way. You have to earn your right to become your own light. You do. Are you ready to stand up for yourself? Not stand against other people. Just stand up for yourself by having an understanding that you're beautiful and that you need to spend time with yourself. You need to care for yourself. You don't even know what that looks like. And this is why you get a perfect day. And this is why we have to give you unlimited support. How many people think they can go get a consult and everything's just going to be fine? No. You need a team. We all need a team. Jesus, they teamed up against us, so we better team up for each other somehow. And if you don't like my team or you don't like me, go find a team that you like. But find a team and go, that's where I want to go. That's what I want to be. And that's why I tell people, you'll be with me, you'll watch me, you'll learn from me, and then you'll go, you know what? I can't learn much more from you, Daryl. Go find someone else that can challenge you then. Don't ever, ever, ever follow anybody too long. Get their information and then break away, create your own thing, or find somebody that'll challenge you on a different level, because life is so big and there's so many ways to the top of the mountain. I'm just one little thing, one little piece of your puzzle. Go get the rest of the pieces. It's a treasure hunt. And guess what the treasure is? Finding you. Finding yourself. Loving and caring for yourself. Look, I'm just going to mention the things that you learn when you get a Perfect Day consult, when you get the guide. we'll be going over, we won't have time today to do all this. We just don't. But when I teach the course, I'll try to do the things we missed today, and I'll try to do them live. How's that? Because we just don't have the time. But the reality is, drink structured water. Go do your research. People say structured water is BS. That's fine. But go research it, because that's what the rainwater is. It's full of chemicals and heavy metals and poisons, and it doesn't hurt anything, does it? And everything down on the planet drinks it. Lori and I will put it, where's the structure unit? Oh, right here. I'll put the structure unit under any tap all the way around the world. When we're in India, when we're in China, we're Australia, all we do is put it under the tap. We don't buy bottled water. That's goofy. And then it goes through here. There's no filter, but we'll drink it. Because the invisible overdoes the physical. And then there's lots of people on here that are just going to banter at me. So the reality is this. You have to understand something, guys. Don't poo-poo on things that are outside your box. Everything that's inside the box wasn't meant to work. Or it was meant to make you feel like you almost get there, but you never do. Yes or no? Okay. So you want to make sure you drink 3/4 of an ounce for every pound you are. That's minimal. You want to make sure you do at least 2 blender drinks a day with organic berries. You want to put a teaspoon of black gold in. You want to use coconut milk or I wouldn't use almond. There's not very much good almond milk out there. Coconut milk or maybe oat milk. Okay, even rice milk, I wouldn't do it. Okay, things are getting a little dicey. And always make sure when you go to the health food store, you always look at the back. Yeah, but I know, but I love this product. I've been taking it. Yeah, but every product that gets popular, the tobacco industry buys. And the tobacco industry owns every large food corporation in the United States and Canada right now. The tobacco industry. And remember how they told you that if you suck really deep when you smoke, it'll exercise your lungs? Those are the same guys that own the food corporations in the United States and Canada. So when anything gets really popular, they buy it and then they poison it. Isn't that nice? But that's their job. This is a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure. Okay? So don't get pissed off. Just go, well, good, I got you. I'm not buying you today. Now you got to go look for the thing that only has 3 ingredients. That's what Lori and I do. We don't go and buy, oh, let's just grab it. Nope, better look, see if anybody bought them out. Okay, so we're going to do 2 blender drinks a day with berries, oat milk, black gold. I throw a raw egg in. If I don't have time to eat and I'm feeling like I'm really going, I'll throw 1 or 2 raw eggs in. Oh yeah, but what about salmonella? Well, you don't even know anybody who got salmonella. Just stop it. Okay, there, that's how I feel. So, I would do 2 of those. I would do 2 large salad, rainbow salads, and I'd put beans in one. Not a lot, just black beans in one, and I'd put some avocado in the other one maybe. Or just have a big salad. Or just have an avocado, put some Himalayan salt or real salt or squeeze some lemon on it. Okay, tonight what are we gonna have? I've drank my juice. We're gonna go home and have pea soup. Lori made pea soup. Couldn't find any yellow peas no matter where we go. So the yellow peas, they bit the dust. So we're gonna have green pea soup, not yellow pea soup. So we were gonna have green pea, yellow pea, but now it's just green pea. So.
About the smoothies.
What?
I have a question about the smoothies.
Yes.
You talked about the ingredients just now. I've been putting protein powder, plant-based organic.
Plant-based protein powder, yeah.
But they added like natural flavor in there, and there's 52 superfoods in there now, and they're supposed to be all healthy, but.
Well, you can do whatever you want, but a lot of the protein powders are not so great, and I'm not going to put them down because I don't know them all. Pea protein's better than whey. The reality is I'd rather use an egg, and then what we'll do is we'll throw in our Amino Boost, which is a Dutch chocolate as a treat at night, and we'll have a blender drink. And that's really refreshing, and you'll sleep better, and it's got all your aminos in it. That's the way we do it. Look at Rami's blender drink, and it's in my Perfect Day guide. It's also, even if you don't get a Perfect Day consult, it's in the recipes in the library.
How's it spelled?
Well, her name is Rami.
ROMMY.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Oh, there it is.
yeah. And that's really great.
And anything that says natural flavors, that's where
I
they
know,
stick
that's
a bunch of
what I'm
stuff.
saying. I just
So,
know there's like 1,000 ingredients, but supposedly it's all
well,
superfoods.
it's something you shouldn't.
Right.
Just know that you can buy your own steel cut oats and make your own oat milk. But see, once Lori and I, in another 8 months when this world tour is done, okay, we'll be making all our own stuff, okay? But I seem to be doing okay without it. You know, the reality is just know this, you can go and spend all your money on organics and be so stressed out that you're going to take something in that's toxic, you could be dead tomorrow. Remember something, every time that you stress out, you're dumping the hack, histamine, adrenaline, and cortisol into you, and that's making you more acidic. Do you understand? God, you want to piss your family off? Just slight smile all the time. Then they're going to say, wow, are you mentally damaged? And guess what? I want you to do this. I want you all to just do this one thing and have a slight smile on for 4 hours and put it on a timer. And you're going to see, do you know how you can tell how miserable you are? Within 4 hours, you are going to be so sore here with your muscles. They've never been worked, and they've only been worked a little bit. And you know, there'll be people in this room because there's people everywhere. And you know what? And when I'm in the class, there'll be other people that didn't come to this class. And I'm going to say to everybody, and guess what? Because you're lucky, I'm being nicer, right? A little nicer? Little. So the reality is, I'll say to people when they come to the class, I want everybody smiling throughout this whole course. And then I get this. Screw you, Daryl. Okay? I'm only smiling, okay, if somebody strokes me, okay, or tells me they love me, okay, I'm miserable. So do you know what people say? I'm going to show the world I'm miserable, but the world doesn't care. And nobody knows what to do with misery, do they? I don't know what to do with it. Do you know what to do with it? And the reality is let me tell you, I get the finger. I get the finger from people in class. And people in class too. Some of them, up until around the second day, they're wavering whether or not they took the right course. That's why we give the money back the first day, right?
Yes.
And I do it on purpose because guess what? I don't want anybody that's going to be in there angry about me trying to teach self-love and self-care and going, this is stupid. Because I've invested so much time into being angry at my family and the world. I'm not going to give that up. Who do you think you are? And that's what that is.
Everybody that gets angry, the only person you hurt is yourself. Nobody else, not even the person you're angry at, cares or is affected that you're angry.
No, they want to get away from you. And understand something. The only people that want to hear your depressing story about how bad your life is someone who can't wait until you shut up and they can tell theirs. Okay, so understand, I want everybody when they come to my course to tell me their story. I want to hear about it. I want them to roll around in it. And then we're going to take a look at it. And then we're going to show them, okay? This is what your story creates. I'm so sad because my mother passed. I don't think I can go on living. Okay, just go ahead and tell that to 20 people today and find out how you sleep tonight and how you get up tomorrow morning. Okay, but make sure you hide the butter knives.
If you change the story, my mother was great. We had this wonderful time.
Did your mother really love you? Does your mother want the best for you? Do you think your mother would be proud of you right now about how you'd like to end your life because she's gone? Then guess what? Then do it for her. Then why don't you do it for her? Okay, don't save yourself because you're worth it. God knows you're not. Do it for your mother if you love her so much. And then do it for yourself. We just need you to hang around because you got work to do. You've got people to help show the way to. You need to grab your passion and purpose. You've got work to do and you know it. You know you got special things.
And everybody thinks that he's going to fix you. And he's not going to fix you. You have to take massive personal action. He's going to give you some tools to help you work on that yourself.
It may not be what you wanted today, but guess what? We're going to take a 15-minute break, and then we're going to come back and talk about. I have to talk about Cellsonic. I've got to talk about energy. I'm going to talk about the shows that we're going to be doing, and what's going to be going on with us, and what we have for you guys in the future. But that's it for today. Okay, so we'll be out of here by 3 o'clock. Okay, let's take a 15-minute break. And you know what? I think we're on course, don't you? I think you must have learned something today.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. We'll be back in 15.